similar discussion. Juan Soto and Corbin Burns, you are in one boat. Bryce Harper and Max Scherzer, it seems like you're in another boat. And it's the advanced analytics versus the counting stats. As a podcast, let's come together.
And the narrative.
Let's come together. Let's figure this out. And let's just go through what we think are the most important numbers. Juan Soto leads in batting average over Bryce Harper by 9 points. He leads in on-base percentage by 35 points. But Bryce Harper leads in slugging by 70 points. Bryce Harper has a 5-point better WRC plus. He has 5 more home runs. He has a 5% lower walk rate, but he also strikes out about 8% more. Bryce Harper has a higher WOBA, and they basically have the same exact WAR. We both know that Juan Soto is the clear better defender than Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper has shitty routes, to say it simplistically. He's just straight up not that good out there. He has a really good arm, so we can have some highlights where you're like, oh, Bryce Harper just threw him out. He's a great defender. Bryce Harper is not a good defender. Juan Soto has vastly improved on his defense this year and is honestly one of the better defenders in right field in all of baseball. So now, then you break into the wins thing. Whose team is better? Well, Bryce Harper's team is better. The Nationals also sold off all their guys while the Phillies went for it, and the Phillies still won't make the playoffs. So if
they could. The NL East. They could take the Braves. I agree. They're probably not going to make it, but they could catch the Braves.
If they do catch the Braves, Bryce Harper won the National League MVP.
I agree.
End of discussion.
I agree.
But in the greater chance that he doesn't.
If you don't factor that in, you're nuts.
You're nuts.
It's like, it's like he. What would the Phillies be without Bryce Harper? Like they're not even close to a playoff team.
We should preface with that. It's not that you're nuts for thinking that. The argument is that you need to be an MVP. You have to be on a good team. I understand. You're not nuts for thinking that that's a dumb argument. You're just nuts if you think that won't factor into the voters.
Yeah,
and you're like, this guy should just win regardless. It's like, you're nuts if you don't understand that voters care about that.
Well, yeah, it's more so just like, I think people, when I say that too, it's like, I agree sometimes that the way we weigh these things can be a bit convoluted, but at the end of the day, what you and I are talking about is one, what we think it should be, and then two, what we think it's going to be. And sometimes those two things are very different, and people don't realize like that. What we're talking about is like, you're nuts if you don't think that the Phillies making the playoffs will heavily bolster Bryce Harper's case in the eyes of the writers. It will. It absolutely will. Whether you agree with that or not doesn't affect whether it's going to impact it. And that's the unfortunate thing. I think it should impact it though, because
I do too.
I think this Phillies team is pretty bad. Like I don't think it's good at all. With Rhys Hoskins out, I just don't think it's a great team. I don't like bad is extreme. Yeah. I would say very average to slightly above average. Okay. And yeah, you know, your next best player right now in terms of WAR is Gene Segura and JT Realmuto. Realmuto is your catcher, so as a good defensive catcher, obviously he's going to be up there in WAR, but he doesn't offer much protection in terms of hitting. Gene Segura is a contact first guy that's played some of the best defense of his career this year. Outside of that, you know, who are you scared of in the Phillies lineup? Are you scared of anybody in that lineup?
Brad Miller sometimes comes through.
Brad Miller's a dog, but like
Odubel Herrera has some fantastic bat flips.
Yes, 313 on base though.
Yeah.
Alec Boehm's in AAA.
I wish
Gregorius has a negative 0.64. Negative 0.64.
Just a side note, and Alec Boehm has nothing to do with the Phillies conversation this year because he is in AAA. But God damn it, I thought he was going to be good this year. Both of us did. I really that one I'm like kind of pissed about for no reason, just a feeling. Like I was just like, damn it, how did? Come on, Boehm.
Yeah, I was shocked. Honestly, he was one of the safe guys for me. I mean,
I thought so too.
I saw a lot of DJ in him, but. You look at the rest of the roster, man, like that's Aaron Nola has not been Aaron Nola this year. No matter what you want to describe it as, he hasn't been Aaron Nola, and no one should argue that. Wheeler has been phenomenal. Part of the only reason why they've been in it. So I look at that offense, man, like I'm just walking Harper and not really worrying about it. The thing is I've said this so many times, Harper's seeing like 2 pitches to hit and he's hitting them out. Juan Soto, he's seeing 2 pitches to hit and he's either hitting a double or taking it for a strike and then walking. And Soto's been running into more baseballs now and starting to hit for a lot more power. But I mean, the slugging percentages are just way different. And you're seeing really good numbers for Soto because of how much he walks. And I think that's great. I think walking is phenomenal when your team is good. But when your team is not good, Bryce Harper doesn't want to walk.
Yeah.
He does not want to walk. He's going to take it if you give it to him. He's not going to expand the zone. But he wants to hit a home run because he knows that's the best way his team's going to score right now. Like I was talking about with the Yankees, who's going to step up for the Phillies? It's like, Bryce, when are you going to hit it? Like, that's where they're at right now. And for me, I look at it and I'm like, he knows that he's going to get 2 pitches to try to boost this team's offense, and he does it. And I just think he's just been too important. You can look at all the numbers, you can dive into all of that. Just watching these 2 teams, the Nationals suck. And without Soto, they probably lose 155 games. But I just look at it and I'm just saying Harper has put that team on his freaking back and they're still alive. And I mean, if they don't make the playoffs, I'm not upset with whoever it goes to. But no, but Harper's defense, if he was playing Gold Glove defense, they have the same record. And that's what it boils down to for me.
You're making me ponder, because it's like, I look at the total year and I look at the advanced numbers. We're looking at all of them. Juan Soto has had a better season by the numbers. But I don't care.
Yes, that's what I needed.
I think Bryce Harper is the MVP. I just think it. And the numbers are so goddamn close, except defensively. And you're right.
Are the Phillies
better off? Walking so goddamn much. All of the advanced analytics love that.
Love that.
But if you want to boil it down to the most important offensive statistic, which I think you and I would both agree is WRC plus, guess who's in front? Bryce.
And Bryce is walking.
Harper.
He's walking, bro. He's still walking 17% of the freaking time. Like, that's a lot.
434 on base and 313's got more home runs.
Third most walks, or third highest walk rate, excuse me. Soto's number 1. But look at the slugging.
Then I see that, like, Juan Soto has gotten 157 high fastballs. And he's only swung at one of them. And all the rest have been balls. Like, then you do shit crazy like that to me, where I'm like, this is the best pure hitter I've ever seen.
I agree.
But then I'm like, wait a minute. Brett, like, this is impossible.
He's Ted Williams minus the pilot skills. But my point is, like, we're talking about most valuable player right now to his team this season is Bryce Harper, because he's doing the damage for them. And I think Soto is kind of just like taking what's given to him. And he's like, we don't have to win every game. Like, I'm going to do my best. And 70 slugging percentage points is a lot. It's a lot. And those 70 points to me are more valuable than you could put Andrew Jones in right field. How much better off are the Phillies right now with Andrew Jones playing right field? How many more wins do they have?
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. It's just where I don't know. But how about just simplify it? Juan Soto in right field for the Phillies. And defense, just the defense. Offense is Harper. The defense is Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Do the Phillies win any more games? No.
I don't think so.
There's no
shot. Right field defense is not that impactful.
No.
So when we're looking at it, it's like, well, yes, they favor Juan Soto. So it's like overall, like Juan Soto. I mean, even in war, Juan Soto is a 6.7 to a 6.6. So it's not that impactful defensively.
This is less about the numbers, though, and more about
I'm going back and forth. I got so many different things. We're trying to connect the dots. There's so many goddamn dots.
There's a lot of dots. Harper's my final answer, and Juan Soto will be one of the greatest hitters of all time, and it has nothing to do with him. I think what he's doing may even be more impressive, like from a pure hitter standpoint. But I'm talking about the MVP.
Can I call Juan Soto the best pure hitter in baseball and then simultaneously call Bryce Harper the MVP this year in 2021?
Yes, and that boils down the entire conversation.
And then
Giving
can
the
I
MVP to Bryce
call?
Harper is
And
not
then
undermining or slighting Soto. We still think he's the best hitter in baseball. Most valuable player to his team this year, though, Bryce Harper. That's my final.
And can I say that Corbin Burns statistically probably had the better season, but I think Max Scherzer will win the Cy Young Award.
I agree with that too, and that one makes a little bit less sense to me. Except I agree.
Yeah, I know.
So take it up with the voters. We're just telling you what's going to happen before it happens. Like it's just what it is.
Well, we'll see you all on Friday. Jack will be back. We got Monday Night Football to watch. I gotta see if we're gonna win this fantasy game against Jack McMullen. I gotta beat him. We're gonna talk about it on Friday. We're in for a crazy week of baseball here, folks. Aram, you got anything to say before we head out?
I think this is going to be the best down to the wire type of regular season we've seen. We might even get a playoff game for the playoff game. So I'm pumped for it. I can't wait. And I'm excited to be able to share it with everybody here and get amped about it.